Howdy, EC Country. This is Tony, and we've had a lot of requests and just trying to get some information out there. This springtime seems to be a time that a lot of folks like to stock up. So they do some bulk buys on various types of meat. That could be chicken, beef, pork, bison, but we'll start with the traditional one, which would be buying a quarter cow. A lot of people in Nebraska are familiar with that. But there's a lot of confusion, a lot of mistakes, and a lot of questions. So I want to try and help you with that. Um, First of all, at AC Country, you could buy a quarter cow, you could buy half, full, but we even do an eighth or a 16th. And of course, we do the grain finished or the grass finished. So those other things that we can get into. But today, I want to just talk about simplifying buying a quarter cow. Um, Part of the confusion starts on the front end. Of course, when you buy food and you're buying food from a farmer, it can get confusing. Both Amber and I love working with our farmers, and of course, what they focus on is raising the animals and feeding them and treating them humanely, raising them holistically. That's why we love working with them. But for them to try and do all the marketing and translate terms and get people to understand who maybe have never done that before, maybe not their strength. So that's where we're here to help out. So when at the front end, the weights, and let me just explain some of the different types of weights that get used when you start talking about buying a quarter cow or more. So first of all, you've got the live weight of the animal. Next, after they're butchered, they do something that's called a hanging weight, and that, for lack of a better way to say it, that's the carcass. And then finally, and what you're most concerned with, is the finished weight. So the finished weight is what you after the butcher is done, and what you see in an actual package. It's what you're going to see most of the time in our store when you open up the cooler and you grab that ribeye or grab a pound of ground or whatnot. So that's the finished weight. So that's what I'm going to focus on because I think that's what relates to y'all the most. Um, Typically on a quarter cow, it's not always exactly the same because you're dealing with real live farm animals. But you're going to be just over 100 pounds on a quarter. You're going to be over a couple hundred pounds on a half. Um, and then a lot of times, you're going to the farmer's going to quote you a price, and that's where people get confused. They go, okay, well, I paid the farmer, and yet there's more fees to come, and that's not always communicated really good. Next, you're going to have the locker fees, and the locker fees can be fairly significant. Usually, they do that by the pound as well, usually hanging weight. And then you may even have the government gets their hand in there, and you're going to have USDA fees and whatnot. And so, people, when they're shopping, they don't get a real good apples to apples comparison between farmer A, farmer B, the meat locker, and whoever else. So at Ellsworth Crossing, we try to simplify that. The price that you see on our website, or they get in the sheets in the store, we have sheets that show grass finished packages, grain finished packages. It's at the website too, but what you see is what you get. We try and do it very straightforward. So we do finished pricing, so it is, and it includes everything that we paid the farmer, everything that we paid the locker, the USDA fee. There's no more extra fees. What you see is what you get, and that's finished and packaged and ready to go for you. So very simple, but sometimes when people see that and they're looking at a different price, they don't realize that, that there's more fees that are being excluded in the quote that they're getting. So hopefully that makes sense. So we're just going to look at the finished price, and that's kind of step one. Um, the other aspects that where people get confused and make mistakes. Let's talk about quality. So the other thing that people make that's a big mistake that we see coming into the store is they see that we've got packages. They grab a sheet up there, and I go, "Oh boy, I wish I would have met you guys. I wish I'd have known about you guys at store. Knew you had packages. I've got, I'm finishing off a quarter cow, and it just didn't. It's too fatty. It's not what I really wanted. So quality is a big thing, and one of the things that we offer is quality. Every farmer that comes in to Ellsworth Crossing, I try it. Amber tries it. Some people go, "Oh, that must be a really tough job." Well, honestly, sometimes it is because sometimes I say no. I try the steak, and we're looking at how they raise, both holistically and humanely. We're looking at health aspects, but as most of you know, I'm an avid griller and smoker, and so I need to make sure that the tenderness is good, the taste is good, the flavor quality, that it's matching up to the breed and the price and everything else. So we take care of all that for you, and you can do the same thing as me. So when you come into the store, before you would buy a whole quarter cow, half cow, eighth of cow, whatever package fits you, try it. Try it yourself. Try different. Come into our store. I don't know anybody else who has 5, 6 different breeds of cattle, and we're just starting off on yet another one. But I got Piedamontese, which people are familiar with. They're headquartered out of Lincoln, and that's a northern Italian cow bred for taste and tenderness. They do it right in ranches right here in Nebraska. I've got both a grass finished or grain finished on that. I have packages of varying sizes on that. I got Wagyu. I got 100% full blood Wagyu out of Crete. I've got American Wagyu that's out of Ashland, Nebraska. Both of those are really, really good. And then we just recently got in the store our own private stock, which is Angus. And I always like to say that is not your grocery store Angus. No hormones. We don't do feedlot. The taste quality and health quality on our Angus is significantly better. And then last and most recently here, we just started Longhorn. So I got a farmer that I'm very excited about, and just started his line of Longhorn in there. I do have it already in the store. So all these are opportunities to try it. And a lot of times, once Amber and once people buy cow packages from us, they just keep coming back because now you know that you have the quality, you got the simplified pricing. So there's that. Um, Next piece that I'll talk about where people, I think, lose money or have some frustration or confusion is just on all the cuts. Um, a lot of times when you buy a package, they're just going to turn you over to the locker, and you're going to have to go through this long list and try and pick cuts and whatnot. But a lot of times I have people, and they say, well, I really only like the ribeyes, and we use the ground. I do a few chucks or whatever. I get honestly, there's a lot of different answers, but one thing we do that I don't know anybody else that does this, but we will customize your package. So you could start off with that quarter cow package, and you could come and tell me, hey, Tony, I don't want any flank and I don't want any chuck or stew meat. And can you turn that into more ribeyes for me? Sure. Yep. Well, so what I do, because we sell meat in the store, is I'll take that on. I'll take that out of your package. I use that money and I just buy you more ribeyes. So you can have a way uh, ribeye high package, filet mignon. I'm just using some common examples, but people have different opinions. I just had a gal that wanted way more strip. I've had people, and then when people get going on the cow packages with this, they go, "Well, ate all my steaks. I got plenty of ground left. Can you give me a whole quarter cow package that's all steaks, no ground?" Yep. And then they go the other way. I'm really steak heavy, and I need some more ground this time around. Can you do that? Absolutely. So when you get all the cuts that you want and you actually eat, then you don't have that end of the freezer where you're staring at it and you go, I don't know what to do with the rest of what's in here. I don't know how to cook it, or it's just not my favorite thing. So less waste, high quality, fully loaded price. These are all the different things that we're able to do and help you. And a lot of it, honestly, is education, just answering questions like I am right here. But um, I can personally answer all your questions. Just come into the store or give us a call. And I can walk through all of it with you. It's actually very. And the other thing I'll just mention too, a lot of the lockers, usually when you put a deposit down with the farmer and you're waiting on them to take their cattle into the locker, and then you're waiting on the locker, you could be talking about several months. Once you order with us, and typically we ask for a $500 deposit up front. Um, and then you just pay the balance when you pick it up from us. But I can typically get it within 3 weeks. So you're not waiting an incredibly long period of time. And even I've had a couple of people buy off the web. I even deliver them. So that's your all up to you, your choice. I see families and friends that go in on half cow packages, quarter cow packages, and certainly by buying bulk you do save money. I get people all the time are asking me, food's expensive, how can I save? This is one of the ways that you can save, and doesn't take up as much room as you think. I look on Facebook all the time for freezers and such. You could a 5 cubic uh, I guess storage, fairly small freezer, and you could store a quarter cow easy in there. So hopefully this helps. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. But if you have more questions, I'd like to invite you into the store. You can email me, or we can talk over the phone. So appreciate y'all listening. That's what we're here for, and it really does help the farmers because, like I said, they need to focus on raising and growing. And that's what Amber and I are here is to be a go-between and to help y'all. And I know that you guys are going to have a better deal and be more satisfied with your family and with what you've paid for. So appreciate you. Have a great week. Bye, guys.